Hi, I'm Brad Knowles, producer of Friday Night Flies, hosted by Scott LeBoldus and Scotty Holmes. Enjoy the show. We're there, Friday Night Flies. Your host, Brad Knowles. Tonight, we've got a great little salmon fly, pink salmon fly. We used it a lot here in 2015. It did a number on them, and after a little bit of coaxing, Scotty's talked me into sharing this with you dear folks. We've changed our camera here. I've got a 4K camera up top, so we're up in close and personal. So I had to go and check and make sure I didn't have any cliffhangers or any of that stuff going on. But this little fly produces pink salmon like nobody's business. I'll just give it a slow roll here. Actually, let's go down to the bottom camera here. It's a pretty simple fly. Consists of pink uni thread in a 6/0, pink bucktail, and what do we call that other stuff? It's polar chenille in pink as well, in a medium. So other than that, you've got we start out with a 6/0 or a size 6 salmon hook in Daiichi, which is a style number 2441. So we're going to get started. Are we on camera down the bottom there?
We're on the bottom.
We're on the bottom. So we luckily got this beautiful brand new rotary vise donated to us by the good people at Griffin. It's a Griffin, Montana mongoose, and we'll talk a little bit about it here at the end of the show. But we're going to start out here with our 6/0 uni thread in pink. And with salmon hooks, they have this split eye. And we've been trying our best to find out why they do that. But if you look at them, they got the split eye. If you know the reason for this, please let us know. Anyhow, so you want to make sure that that's good and sealed up. Work your thread back, give it a little bit of something to bite onto. This is actually a very, very, very simple pattern to tie, and it produces. So you're going to work your way back to the back end of the fly. At this point, I've got this lovely chunk of UV2 bucktail that is getting down to the nitty gritties here. I'm going to take a chunk of that. You don't need to go too crazy with it. At that point, you'll just take all the loose stuff out of there. We got a busy store here. So you want to leave about the length of the shank off the back of the hook. At that point, I'm going to roll it over, and we're just going to tie it in nice and tight. Tie her in nice and tight. You don't want that deer hair moving on you. At that point, pull this guy back, work your way up in front of it. Make sure it's nice and locked down. Okay, so now we got this nice Montana mongoose. It's got a movable clip here for materials, and I'm just going to clip this chunk of deer hair back into this clip. And if I had that top camera zoomed out a little bit, it would have showed you nicely what we were doing, but you can see how that's holding it back real nice. And I've got this chunk of medium UV polar chenille in UV hot pink. They used UV multiple times there. So what we're going to do is just lay a bit on the top here, just to kind of let it bulk up a little bit. Work it back nice and tight right to where the deer hair started, or the bucktail, right in tight in the corner. Work your way back up to the front. At this point, take a half hitch, loop it over the eye, and I'll show you the reason for that here real quick. I've got this beautiful bobbin holder on this new rotary vise. I'm just going to pull that over to the far side here. I'm going to lay my bobbin over that. And at this point, I'm going to show you the upside of a new rotary vise. So hopefully the cameraman's picking all this stuff up and you guys are seeing this, but it makes it pretty easy to work the rotary and all your material all the way up this hook. And I mean, you could do this very fast if you wanted to, but on the same hand, I want to keep it instructional so that you guys see what we're doing. At that point, keep a little bit down pressure on the UV chenille And typically I would swing it around the front, but today the camera's in the way, so I'm going to move that bobbin holder back around the other side. At this point, lock down that UV chenille. Nice and tight. Give it 3 or 4 nice wraps before you cut away.
Thank you, guys. I'm surprised at how cheap the low end is though on guns.
Cut off the excess. Place that there. Pull this back a little bit. Lock it down. Super easy stuff. Okay, so you want to kind of coax those UV chenille fibers downward a little bit. Just kind of hold it there in position for a second. You'll see their tendency to hold them down. So at that point, pull out your bucktail.
Yes.
Remove all the loose fibers. Pull it up over the top of the back here. Take this, a couple nice loose wraps. You don't want to get too close to the eyelet of the hook on this pattern, just for the simple reason that you need to leave a little bit of room. That way you can thread your line through the eye of the hook. So I make a little bit of a dam in behind there, just to keep it nice and tight. At that point, depending on how long you want to leave the front, I usually leave a little bit of a tuft. It helps it make it swim, and it also makes it look a little bit more like a shrimp. Cut it about that length, right there. Whip finish time, and you better be ready to reel in a few pink salmon, because we're just about done here. Swinging for the fence. Body. Now that is about as simple of a pink salmon fly as you can tie. And always lock these patterns down with a little bit of head cement, because pink salmon are very, very toothy and rough on patterns. So lock down on those threads in the front and the rear, and you'll probably get about another 2 or 3 fish out of this before it unravels. So at that point, you've got yourself a very, very deadly pink salmon fly. We'll give it a nice little slow roll here, because we can with this full rotary vise. How's that look, cameraman?
Excellent.
Buddy, this thing is going to perform for you. Enjoy the pattern. We'll go back up top here quick. Anyhow, what did we get? We got, we're up personal. The vise that you were seeing tonight, this fly was tied all on this Griffin, Montana mongoose. If you guys are in the market for a new vise, highly recommend this vise. It is, if not the best on the market, it's right there with the best. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching tonight, and we've got a great show for you this week, and thank you for watching.